Trooper! No! Stay back! Trooper!
Trooper wasn't just James's dog. He was his retired canine partner, the one who had stood beside him through every dark hallway, every dangerous call. After retirement, Trooper finally relaxed into normal life. But their story, their hardest day together, was still waiting for them on a quiet mountain trail with no backup, no radio, no flashing lights. Just two souls and one terrible decision that would cost Trooper something he could never get back. One cool autumn morning, James loaded Trooper into the back of the truck and drove toward the mountains. Trooper stood at the back window, tail slowly swaying, ears high, nose busy with 1,000 new stories in the wind. They parked at a small trailhead, nothing special, nothing dangerous on paper. A moderate hike, a scenic overlook, a few warning signs about loose rock and staying on the marked path. James clipped on Trooper's leash. "You and me, old man," he said, and Trooper pulled forward with the eagerness of a dog who still loved the world. They started walking, two old partners following a trail that seemed safe. James wanted a simple hike, fresh air, a break from everything. Trooper walked beside him, slow but steady, happy just to be outside. The trouble started so small that if you rewound the day 1,000 times, you'd miss the moment where fate quietly stepped in. A patch of rock, a thin layer of gravel, a spot where the trail had been worn away by 100 hikers who never noticed what their footsteps were doing. James didn't see it. He was looking at the view, at a streak of sunlight on distant trees. He took a step. His boot slid. The world, which had felt solid and predictable, tilted. The drop wasn't a cliff. It was worse than that. A steep, jagged slope of rock and loose dirt leading down to more stone. James's arms pinwheeled. The ground under him gave way with a dry, rolling sound. He heard himself shout Trooper's name, a single, raw syllable that didn't sound like him at all. Then he felt it. Gravity grabbing his body and pulling. The trail rushed upward in his vision, and the sky dropped out of sight. In that split second between standing and falling, he saw Trooper's eyes. Alert. Something in them flipped. The relaxed, retired house dog vanished. The working canine was back. Trooper jumped after him without hesitation. He jumped off the safe edge, straight toward the moving shape that was James. For a heartbeat, they were both in the air, man and dog suspended in a cruel, weightless moment. Then Trooper hit the slope first. Rock tore at his pads. His hind legs slipped out from under him. He twisted, scrambling, claws scratching desperately for any kind of hold. He wasn't trying to save himself. He was trying to get to James. He reached him halfway down. Teeth closed around fabric, the thick sleeve of James's jacket. Trooper's jaws, trained to hold, locked down. The force of James's body pulling downward dragged Trooper with him, but the angle changed. Instead of tumbling head first, James slammed sideways into a rock ledge. Pain exploded in his ribs. Air left his lungs in a broken sound. Trooper felt the jerk, the tearing in his shoulders, his body pulled in one direction, gravity yanking the other. Still, he held on. They stopped moving. James's lower body was wedged against a jut of rock, his back screaming with pain, one leg twisted at an angle that felt wrong. Above him, he heard a sound he had never heard from Trooper before. A howl, shorter, ragged, broken. James blinked, trying to clear his vision. He saw Trooper. His front half was braced on the same ledge James was stuck against, muscles shaking with effort. His back half, James's mind refused it at first. One of Trooper's hind legs was at a sickening angle, caught between rocks lower down, twisted under the combined violence of the fall and the desperate hold. The limb was trapped. Bone, muscle, and skin pinched in rock that didn't care what it was crushing. Trooper's body trembled. His claws dug into the stone beside James's shoulder. Every breath was a small, sharp shudder. But Trooper didn't cry out. He didn't look at the injury. He kept his eyes only on James, making sure he was still alive, still breathing. "I'm going to get you out. I promise. I promise," James said. James looked at Trooper, hurt, shaking, but still watching him, and felt his heart break in a way he had never felt before. Pause for a moment. "If you're still here, let us know your city. Trooper's story is reaching hearts across the world." James managed to call 911. "Help is coming," James whispered. "I'm not leaving you. I swear to God, I'm not leaving you." Somewhere in the distance he finally heard it, the faint thump of helicopter blades. Voices calling, ropes, equipment, footsteps. The world narrowed to flashes. A rescuer's face leaning over them, bright helmet, steady hands. "We've got you," the stranger said. But James's eyes were on Trooper. "Get him first," James insisted, tears he couldn't stop finally spilling over. "Please, get him first." Hours later, rescuers pulled them out. James was injured but stable. Trooper was alive. Barely. The vet said the words James never imagined hearing. "We can save him, but the leg has to go." James closed his eyes. Trooper had spent his whole life running, leaping, working. How could he live with 3 legs? Then the vet said, "Dogs don't care about what they've lost. They care about who they still have." And that was it. James chose life for him. James was in a hospital bed. He blinked at the fluorescent lights, confused. Then memory hit like a fresh fall. He tried to sit up. "Trooper," he choked out. "Where's my dog? Trooper, where is he?" The doctor came in with another man, a veterinarian in scrubs. "He's alive," the vet said softly. "But he's in surgery right now. We're doing everything we can." James's hands clenched in the sheets, praying for him. The first time James saw Trooper after the surgery, he almost couldn't walk into the room. His chest felt too tight. He had seen Trooper bloody before, in training accidents, after rough calls. But this felt different. Bandages. One leg missing. But Trooper didn't look at the wound. He looked at him. His tail tapped once on the floor, weak but sure. James dropped beside him, tears falling. "I'm so sorry this happened to you. You saved my life," he whispered. "And this is the price you paid." He closed his eyes. Trooper pressed his head against James's chest, as if to say, "I would do it again." Recovery was slow. Trooper fell more than once, but he always got back up. Until one afternoon, he trotted across the yard, crooked, uneven, but proud, and dropped a tennis ball at James's feet. Same heart, same spirit, one less leg. James laughed through tears. "There you go," he said, voice hoarse. "Look at you. Look at you, Trooper." Trooper felt proud of himself, and so did James. Trooper didn't lose a limb that day. He gave it, so James could live. Type, "Stay strong, Trooper," if this touched your heart.